Okay, hey everybody. So I wanted to come on today and just kind of say um, happy solstice, all that. And welcome. So I decided, I don't know if you saw my posts about some of the, okay, hey everybody. About some of the granny squares that I was working on. So yesterday I had it in my head that I wanted to do something for today. I wanted to kind of do something for Yule and kind of do something for the solstice, the winter solstice today. So I found some images and I was like, yeah, I'm going for it. One of the things, crafts that you can do to celebrate Yule is make dried fruits and make dried oranges, orange slices, so that's kind of um, where I got an idea. And then, it kind of symbolizes the sun returning, you know, after the lengthy darkness that we, get into before the winter solstice. So the orange is the sun. And then I saw this image of like sun rays coming out. And I thought that that was absolutely perfect. So I was like, well, let me make a granny square where I have the orange in the middle and then the sun rays. Well, it just wasn't really working. So I spent about 6 hours yesterday trying to create something, and I was just exhausted by the end of the evening. And I said, we're just gonna figure something out here. And so I saw another image, and I came up with an idea for something different where I'm going to continue to use this. So I made just a plain granny square for the background, right? And instead of doing like the sun rays, I decided that I'm going to do, the image has bay leaves. So you kind of put bay leaves all the way around and also cinnamon sticks for abundance. So make some cinnamon sticks. I'm going to go in there like that. So I didn't finish it last night because by golly, I was exhausted. So I said, you know what, we're just going to finish it or work on it today live with you guys. And we can talk about the winter solstice. We can talk about Yule. We can talk about how you celebrate the holiday season, whatever you like. So Elena, did I say that right? Elena? Thanks, Elena. I know. Honestly, I do find a lot of pictures on Pinterest and what have you. And I just kind of challenge myself to make a crochet pattern with it, see what I could do. Obviously, the sun rays didn't quite work out, so I had to pivot, and this is where we are. So if you're curious what yarns I'm using for this, now I will do a full standalone video on this later. I just didn't have time on all the patterning and everything. I just kind of want to put it together today and chit chat with you guys. But the yarns that I'm using are Stylecraft Special DK. The base here is called Parchment. I love it. It's a nice, calming background color. The orange is the spice, and the lighter yellow is the color Saffron. The cinnamon sticks are Gingerbread, and then the bay leaves are Cypress color. So I made a bunch of the leaves last night. I made like almost everything except the last. I need to make 7 cinnamon sticks and then sew it all together. I was just so tired. So if you'd like me to show you how to make any of these things while we're chatting here, just chime in, let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm just going to start to find a way to put these leaves on. And I think I kind of went a little overboard with my tails. As I was getting to the last, so there's 8 of these. And as I was getting to the last 2, I was like, I really didn't need this long of a tail for every single leaf because I could have just used one long tail and sewn all of the leaves on with it. So I might do a little trimming right now. Hi, Catherine Wright. How are you today? Do you guys celebrate the winter solstice, or are you just a traditional Christmas or not a Christmas, or how do you guys celebrate the season? Do you celebrate the season? So solstice has kind of been, in a way, like, hi, basketball lover. It's kind of been in a important but not important in a sense. Most of my life kind of like been one of those fully aware of it in the background in my mind because my maternal grandmother was born on the solstice. So I don't know, you want to call that a special place in your heart. Okay, so these guys kind of are going to get laid out like this all the way around. Merry Christmas, basketball lover. So we're doing 2 on each section here like this. So we have 8 total. I know my tails are kind of in the way. And then the cinnamon stick is going to go right in the middle like so. Wow. Like that. Okay, bye, basketball lover. Thanks for stopping in. And then all the way around like so. So I think it'll be kind of cool. So I guess let me go ahead and start. Now I don't want to weave too much because I don't want the backside to be, ugly. So I have to kind of be really careful to just put it, through like the middle section. And my goal is mostly just to kind of do this part so it still stands up 3D and then reach the edge like that. So let's give it a go. Yeah, I really wanted to have this completed and then to kind of work on it live with you guys. I was so exhausted. So exhausted. It's like, no. Well, hello again, basketball lover. Hi, Jamie. So those of you that celebrate Yule and the solstice, what are things that you love to do? What are your favorite? Do you have activities that you like to do? Anything specific? So I kind of have music in the background so that if I get quiet, it's not too quiet for y'all. Okay. Oh, good. See, look, it didn't go all the way through. Okay. So if you're curious what that granny square is up here, that's one that I did. That's my December granny square. I kind of like to make one at the beginning of every month just to kind of get the month going. I know a lot of you viewers love the granny squares, so got you covered. Jamie, that is truly the way I feel about the season. And I have had this conversation with family quite a bit that I don't care about gifts. I've also not been a real gift person anyways. Like I don't need stuff. I don't want stuff. it's just more clutter. It's just more stuff taking up space. And I don't want stuff. I want experiences. I want togetherness. I want, that. I want humanity. I guess you could say something like that. But I know that it's kind of ingrained in a lot of people that gift giving is the reason and what's important. Like, no, I am not for that. Not at all. I watched now it was informative in a sense, but also kind of, I don't know the word to use, but I watched a video last night it was actually not on YouTube, but you would have thought it was on YouTube because it was an entirely AI video. Like all of the graphics was AI. I'm pretty sure the dubbing was AI. I mean, so it was a little painful in that regard. And I was really surprised because it was on Amazon, but it was about the origins of the season, of, where Santa Claus comes from, how everything went from pagan to a Christianity's celebrations, things like that. It was interesting and informative, but a lot of AI, which kind of made me, yeah, Jamie, competition. It makes me cringe whenever, well, we got to save up money for Christmas gifts. No, we don't. I mean, why do we need to spend all that money? We don't need to spend that money. Okay, whatever. All right, so here's the first two. I haven't decided how to work these tails yet, so just I'm winging it. This is how I create, though. I literally just wing it as I go. If you are hearing some like footsteps in the background or anything like that, my room that I'm in right now is literally directly below my kitchen, and you can hear everything up there from down here. And I believe my son just came home from work. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to ask directly where everybody's at as far as location, but I am going to ask, if it's okay, if you have snow on the ground. Because you know what? I have a bit of snow on the ground. Thanks, Jamie. It snowed in November. We got like a huge storm, like 18 inches of snow in one 24-hour period, which was amazing. So it's been hanging out for weeks. And then last week it got warm. So it's been melting, and I am not happy about that. I know a lot of people don't like snow, but okay, let me kind of explain why I'm not happy about it. Because looking at the forecast, it's supposed to be warm enough for it not to snow all week this week, going into Christmas, but it's supposed to rain on Christmas Day. Like, come on, guys. Can we just drop the temp so it can snow on Christmas Day? Because, I mean, rain on Christmas Day, that is so lame. So lame. Agreed, Jamie. What is Christmas without snow? It's lame. That's what it is. Especially if you live in an area where it snows. Like, what? If you live where it never snows, that's totally fair. I get it. No worries. I just had that scene from Home Alone 2 where they're in Florida and it's pouring down rain the whole time. I mean, if that's your Christmas, cool. I live where it snows, guys. It needs to be a white Christmas up here. I mean, especially since I've lived the past 9 years before this in a state where it rarely snows, where it's hot forever. So yeah, snow. Come on. Can you please just get cold enough to snow on Christmas? Like if you're already precipitation's already happening. We're already getting rain. Why not just add some snow? Anyways, there's my little 2 cents for that. Yeah. Okay, I'm not worried about these guys in the middle here because there's going to be more, like with our cinnamon sticks, and then our orange piece is going to cover everything. In case you're wondering. All right. This goes a little shorter. I'm going to have lots of scraps that I can eventually use up to do something with. Okay, so I know a lot of people, yeah, for real, Jamie, Florida, yeah, in the heat. So I know a lot of lives just hit random people, and that's cool. So curious, how many of you are crafty of any kind? Anybody crochet? Anybody knit? Anybody quilts? Jewelry making? Like anything? How many of you guys are crafty? Woodworking? That's even a craft. Cross stitch? Trying to make sure I'm still not going through the back. I did kind of hit a couple on this side, but it's not too obvious, right? So I will post later. I'll post it, but right before I actually record a video for this pattern of the inspiration image for this, if you all are interested in seeing that. Can you hear the music okay? I kind of have it somewhat low, but I just want to make sure it's not blaring. But I also want to make sure you guys can hear it. All right, there's 4. You know what though, Jamie? Collecting and decorating with those guys is an art form in itself, honest. Because you have to have the vision to put it together. So I commend you for that. So for me, like I would get like super excited and buy all the stuff to like decorate with, and then like have no vision to put it together somewhere, or overthink it, or yeah. So I think there is some art there. So yeah, what's funny is I was working on this for so long last night that my brain literally like shut off and said, "We're done. We are done." Like literally, all I needed to do was what I'm doing right now, which was kind of sew these together and make 7 more cinnamon sticks. But my brain was just spent. It literally said, "Not today. We're done. Shut it down. Turn it off. It is time to chill." So yeah. I went through, I never made so many granny squares at one time. in one sitting. I went through what, 4 or 5 different granny square backgrounds for my other design that I was trying to make, and nothing would work. So I was like, nope, we're going to try something different. Okay. Now I don't mind that they're curling because, I mean, that's what leaves do, right? So I can appreciate different kinds of granny squares. I know there's a lot of popularity with them in regards to simplicity and like mind numbingness. You can just sit down and bust out granny squares, which is great. But as shown with this design, I sometimes I just want to bump it up a bit and do something out of the ordinary. And I definitely like to try and create something lifelike or realistic per se with my crocheting. And I don't feel that all the time just that simple granny square or just using certain colors that would be inspired by an image or something kind of hits that mark for me. So, hi Terry, how are you today? I am just working on a Yule inspired granny square design that I came up with last night, yesterday, all day. I just wanted to come on and say a happy solstice and see how everybody's going and just chit chat with some lovely people. I'm one of those weird people that actually appreciates and doesn't mind the winter season because it is truly a time of relaxing, regenerating, just, taking the time to refresh and slow down. And I'm all for it. Jamie, that's why I kind of like to do this. I've done a couple of other lives where I just sit and work on projects and chit chat. And I hope everyone doesn't mind that you don't see my face. Makes it a little bit easier, But I'm a crochet channel, right? We're kind of here for the craft, not my face. I don't know. I like to do this. It's kind of relaxing for me. And it actually kind of helps me get stuff done. I mean, you used to create, you told me. So, I mean, did you have a bunch of things that didn't get finished that you would start something new? And yeah, this kind of helps me do that. So, and I hope that it gives other people opportunity. Y'all can just grab your projects that you want to work on and just sit with me and chat and listen to music. You can hear it, right? Thanks, hon. Okay, so the earrings. Okay, in case anybody's curious what Jamie, Jaded for Blue, is talking about, I have 2 pair of holiday inspired earrings that I just finished the videos for. They're going to go live this week. So keep an eye out. They are mistletoe and Christmas tree cakes. The Christmas tree cakes, the white ones with all the drizzle and whatnot. Yeah. I was inspired. Let's make something fun. So yeah, those are going to go live this week. No lie, I kind of been procrastinating. So I haven't put much out this month. My apologies for that. It's also why I wanted to go live today too, just to look at that. I sewed it too far over. You know what? It's gonna work out. Let me do another stitch. Move it over. So those are going to be recorded, but yes, I say go live in the sense that they will be public for everyone to see. That's what I mean, Jamie. I hope I didn't confuse you there. Okay, dokie. Okay, last leaf. And then it's cinnamon stick time. No lie, I was so brain dead last night. Look, I really, I'll talk about that when I get to it. Let's finish this leaf up. Or I squirrel myself out of my organizational moment. Okay. Last one. And I don't know if you can tell, they are kind of curled, but they're all kind of different sizes because I'm not perfect and my tension can be different when I do multiple things. But you know what? Leaves aren't all the same size anyway, right? So really, it's pretty true to nature. And I'm okay with that. Actually, I'm here for it. I love it. Hang on, guys, one second. Did you look under the sink? Okay. Okay, that was my daughter. She was looking for a cleaner because my poor kitty cat, I guess, ate too much. Kind of threw up on the floor. Alrighty. Whoop, whoop. Perfectionism it's too much energy. Like, why? And to be clear, to be fair, I used to kind of be more anal about things being perfect. Like, I literally, mind you, this was before I got married and had kids. Okay. I absolutely could not stand seeing like a picture hanging on the wall slightly crooked. Like, I can see those things and very easily, and it drove me crazy. Like, I would go to my best friend's house and he would literally move all of his pictures crooked on purpose to make me crazy. Yeah. But then, me anyways, I know not everybody is the same. My husband's type A, and there can only be like one type A personality in the house, and that's okay. That's okay. And then I had kids, and that's exhausting. And so I don't have energy for perfectionism. It is too exhausting. Okay, let's see. That is looking so cool. Kind of wondering. Let's see what they're so tight, close together. I'm wondering how this cinnamon is gonna work. So hey, you guys get to see a bit of my creative process. How my brain works. That's gonna be so pretty. So now the image that inspired me has cinnamon sticks between every leaf. So Sarah, hi. So we'll see how this works. Now, let's go back to talking about this cinnamon stick. I know how I made it. Like I said, my brain was so dead and fried that it's like I need to reload something. But I kind of was winging it last night and was entirely, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to how I did it. I usually try to take notes as I go. But remember, burnout is, 100%. That's where it was. Burnout. So, so we're going to wing this. I know how many chains I need to do. I know how wide it needs to be. But hang on, what is my computer doing? But I don't know. I don't remember how many rows I did, if that makes sense. So here we go. And I'm doing slip stitches. So it's kind of hard for me to count how many rows. I guess I could count my ends here. We'll see what happens. I'm not perfect. I'm not a super YouTuber who does not show you my mistakes. I am here to be the realist person in the room. Okay. So hi, Nina's Creations. I am actually working on a pattern that I kind of created in my mind yesterday, inspired by Yule decorations. So what you see here that I just kind of finished was I have a background granny square, and then I just sewed on 8 leaves, which are bay leaves, and this lovely orange that represents the sun will go in the middle. But what I'm making right now are little cinnamon sticks to go in between those bay leaves. And I'm just trying to remember how I did them last night because I was exhausted and totally forgot what I was doing. I didn't make good notes. How about that? I didn't count how many rows I was doing. So we're winging it together, friends. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put tally marks so I can keep track. And then to keep it from making ribbing, because if you go like front loop, back loop kind of thing, you'll get a ribbing. And so when I do this, I just go one, I alternate. But I need to see. Okay. Let's see what I'm at. Because I don't want it to look like ribbing. I really want it to look like a stick the best possible. I tried doing just Tunisian crochet because Tunisian crochet is prone to curling, and cinnamon sticks are really curled tree bark. So I was trying to go for that look, but I didn't like the way it looked. The curl was fine, but I didn't like it was the backside. It didn't look right. The difference between knitting and crocheting. So crocheting uses a single hook like you see I'm using right now. Knitting uses 2 needles, which I actually have a couple sitting over here. You want to give me 1 second? That's not it. Sorry for the noise. Okay. These are knitting needles. And I am not proficient in knitting. I absolutely, every now and then, try to teach myself again. But then I get frustrated because I'm not proficient, you know. So that's kind of the difference. Now, there's also Tunisian crochet, which is kind of a blend in a sense. You have a longer crochet hook, and instead of having like one loop at a time on your hook, you'll have all of your rose loops on your hook. So it's a little different. All right, that was the second one. Now I have to figure out which way. I'm probably making this harder than it has to be, but I just have a look in mind, and this isn't it. Okay, let's try this again. So if I were to do, I don't know if you can tell, there are, let me get closer. There are loops that are made when you crochet, and there is one on this side and one on that side. And if I were to work, say, like this is the front loop right here. If I were to work on the front loop on all of my rows, then I would get a ribbing texture, kind of like, which is really what you have like on the end sleeves of your sweaters and the base of your sweater. And that is not what I'm going for. So I have to see, that's what I'm talking about right there. It's doing that. And that is not what I want. But you know what? I'm just going to go and see what happens if I continue to do this. Okay, that's actually working because it's not, I mean, it looks a little ribbed there, but it's not pulling apart like it is. And this is pretty solid over here. So that is exactly what I want. Okay. Oh, that is really cool. So my husband actually, he is a airline pilot, and yesterday he messaged me because he couldn't remember the name of my channel, which is fine. It's okay. Um, because one of his flight attendants was literally crocheting the whole time. Obviously, not when she needed to be doing her specific attendant duties, but yeah, she was crocheting. So he, she was really excited. Well, okay, it is ribbing because what do you think? Is that okay? Does that look okay? Like for all my cinnamon sticks are going to be different. Seriously, they're all going to be different because I'm just not. I'm not going to worry about it. If you hear scratching, that is my cat Oliver. He's at the door. He wants in. Okay, so I think that was 5 rows. So if I roll this, it's going to be about that size. I think that's an okay size. It doesn't have to be as thick as this one. And all cinnamon sticks are different, right? Say yes. You know, I I have let them in here, but right now my room is a mess, and I do have plastic out, and he will sit there and lick and munch plastic, and I can't do that right now. If he would just chill and lay down, then we could do this. But I can't let him in here when I can't watch him. I would literally be getting up every 5 seconds. So, yep. And my room is almost in construction again because I did get most of my cabinets ordered. So I do need to do some painting before they all get down here. But cabinets are about to go in. I'm excited. And then I can start actually putting stuff away where it belongs and everything's not crazy and everywhere else. And my husband will be elated because yeah. Um undone my work? No. I do tend to kind of put my stuff away though. However, I did find this morning I missed a piece and I started making a teddy bear for my daughter to put in her car. And there was a little piece of it that I guess they found upstairs. And I woke up this morning and found it next to their water dish. So, I mean, I don't know who that was. I don't think it was Oliver. It was probably one of the other two. So, Nana, I am in my 40s. How about you? Okay, so that's 2 complete. Oh, 19. Okay. My middle child is 19. Oh, I love that you love crochet. I absolutely love that the fiber arts and handmade stuff is coming back into fashion. And I'm going to say our youth, and that is you are in that category, respectfully, are definitely jumping on it because being able to create our own things our own clothing, our own textiles, just our own livelihoods in that regard, like what we need in our home space, because I'm lacking the words right now. We have gone away as a society in the United States, anyways, of being creators and creating these things for ourselves. And I think it's important that we come back to that and that we can create rather than rely upon some corporation or conglomerate or slave labor, dare I say, to actually produce things that we need. So I am thrilled that the younger generation is absolutely diving straight in, especially since most of the younger generation is part of the, respectfully, I don't mean any negativity to anybody, but just the way the younger generations have been raised is it can be purchased. It can be done for me. I don't have to learn that skill because I can just pay someone to do it for me, kind of thing, if that makes sense. So I'm psyched. I'm psyched that y'all are grabbing these things. I'm loving it 100%. Oh, thanks. I don't know if you have seen any of my stuff since you came over here, but I literally have just a bunch of random. My videos are super duper random, and whatever comes to mind is what I make. Like, I have some AI things in there. I'm kind of not doing that so much anymore just because the season, and I've been trying to focus on crafting for themes. Granny squares, gosh, decor. I mean, I just kind of been, whatever comes into my mind is kind of where I go with it because my mind is all over the place. So why not? Right? Right. I'm so happy that you're here. And thank you so much for you being so kind. Oh, thanks. If there's, you know what, I absolutely love feedback. And if there, so I do have, I don't know if I do have a beginner series going on. I haven't added too much to it lately just because of the season. And yeah. If there's anything that you would like me to do a tutorial on, please let me know. Because as a non beginner, I don't know what to do. I mean, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I don't. So I love feedback. Please give me feedback. I think I lost a stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's all there. I'm also trying to remember which loops I'm working in as I turn. Because like I said, I have to alternate them and I forget. Uh Ninas, what do you mean what? I'm sorry. I must have missed. I think I'm gonna make this one 6 rows. So I think I did a wonky somewhere because, see, I got some ribbon going. But it's okay. It's not perfect. And now it's my life. It's not perfect. I'm going to do this backwards. A hand bracelet. What do you mean by a hand bracelet? Can you explain that a little bit better for me? Jamie, so what I gather from that is, I'm so sorry, I just whacked that. Um, I'm literally looking around to see if I have any messy yarn to give you an exact example. So when you work on yarn, or when you work with it, and then when you frog it, which is take it apart, it's not nice and straight like this. It gets crinkled up. So I know a lot of people like to have their yarn straight when they work with it. I guess I'm not seasoned enough to like care or understand why that's important. So personally, I don't care. I will just crochet with it because it don't matter to me. But what I gather that is to straighten the fiber back out so that it's not crinkly, I guess. That was a really long way for me to say that. I know. I'm sorry. Nikki, hi, Nikki. You tried like, it's okay. You know, crochet, just like anything else that you do, is one of those practice, 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 even if it's, here I am talking to myself because that's how I need to do with my knitting, but um, it's a hand skill, right? So just like handwriting, you know, when you first started learning how to write, that your handwriting was pretty crappy, wasn't it? So I bet you could jump back into it, and over time, you could be able to do it again and get better. Double crochet. So you made a scarf with double crochet? Is that what you're saying? Hey, at least you didn't make it with single crochet, because you know, single crochet is like the first stitch you learn. And then as a beginner, I'm guilty when I was a beginner. You want to like use that stitch. And you know, there's kind of a joke that's like, I made a blanket out of single crochet. It was torture, you know, like, because it takes a while. I live in the Midwest. I'm sorry that that's kind of all I want to divulge right now. You could say I live about 20 miles from a Great Lake. How about that? I know that's pretty vague, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I want to tell everybody exactly where I'm at just yet. Oh, Scotland. Oh, I'm excited. You know, I want to visit Scotland. I really do. I wish I could hear you speak. I know that's so cliche, and I'm sorry. But yeah, I just I do wonder what I sound like as far as an accent to those of you in, you know, the UK. Okay, so how long do I have? 3. Y'all, how long did it take me to make those 2? I swear, I feel like it took me 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Oh my goodness. Woo. Okay, well, do you have snow up there right now, Nikki? Were you here when I was talking about the snow and snow for Christmas? Ah, poop. Do you usually have snow like for Christmas? I know that the islands are very wet this time of year, but is snow kind of like a fleeting dream over there at this time, or what's typical? Oh, so sad. Like, okay, I'm gonna say so sad, but is it really sad? Like, do you care? Like, do you want snow, or do you hate snow? Are you happy you don't have snow? I mean, so I was talking about earlier, if you weren't here yet, um, yes, it can make you cold. This is true. Um, I was talking earlier that we got an amazing dumping of snow. I think it was like was it after Thanksgiving or before Thanksgiving? I don't even remember. But it was like 18 inches. Okay, what do you mean? Tell you what I crochet? To what I'm doing right now, or what I usually crochet? What do you mean? But what I was saying is that we got a lot of snow, and it's been hanging around this whole time. But then last week it warmed up and it rained, and the snow is almost all gone. And coming up here, Christmas, we it's supposed to rain on Christmas, which is just rude, if you ask me. Um, because it just needs to be colder so it can snow on Christmas. It's just rude. Uh, Nana, I'm confused actually what you're asking me. Okay. There we go. Missing stitches. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so if you're are you wondering what I'm making right now? I'm let's see. I'm sorry. Let me get this last stitch in here. Apparently I can't talk and crochet at the same time right now. Um, if you weren't here in the beginning, I'm making kind of some winter solstice, some Yule decor, granny square. And this is an orange, kind of represents the sun coming back. These are bay leaves, and I'm making little cinnamon sticks, and they're going to go right in between like this, all the way around. I hope that helps. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see. And I have, this is my fourth stick. I have 4 more to do. Thank you so much. I do feel like I'm kind of messy sometimes. It's not perfect all the time. I never have perfect tension when I'm working on anything. It, I've just come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter. It's about the purpose and the calm and the comfort that it brings me to create. So that's what matters to me. I don't really care if it's not super perfect. Yep, because then it doesn't look like it was made in the factory, right? Don't know. Why wait for 2026? Give it a go now. If you need any refreshers on how to do anything, I have beginner videos. I have a beginner playlist that might be helpful. You could check that out. All right, so I said 4. Oh my goodness. I feel like this takes me forever. It's because I have to pay attention to which way I'm going. Otherwise, it'd be faster. You know, Nikki, the knowledge in that room and experience must be overwhelming and exciting all at the same time. Truly. All right, I'm making notes as I do this so that I don't have to think about it as much. Ooh. So, okay. I don't have much experience with the punch needle thing other than I bought one of those silly little cheap kits and it was a disaster. I mean, I'm intrigued by it. It was just an absolute disaster. Jamie, you're going to get all the insights, Crowley. It's kind of neat, the punch needle. Yeah, the kit I got it just made massive holes in the fabric. I'm like, is that what this is supposed to do? Because this is not making sense. I need to pay attention. I'm not realizing that I'm out of not centered onto the camera. Sorry. Look, there I go. Unprofessional. Nikki, if you have a link to the Amazon, if you want to drop it, you're more than welcome to. I'm kind of interested. Because I kind of don't want to buy another thing because that one was just so junky that I'm afraid to buy one and it be junky too. And then here I am wasting my money, you know? Okay. So I do want to say that I could probably do this easier by just crocheting in the round and making a long tube. But for me, it doesn't look very authentic. And like I said earlier, I'm all about making my stuff look as realistic as possible. Unless, of course, the whole idea is to make it not realistic. But this project needs to be as realistic as possible. Whew. There's 5. 3 more to go. Hey, I think it's getting faster. You tell me, is it getting faster? Or are we just chilling? Oops. Okay. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Let me see if I said this right, if I can say this right. Sabine in abundance Edelbein. Did I say it right? Blessed be to you as well. Your name is beautiful. Your handle is gorgeous. I hope I said it right. I love it, Sabine. Thank you. So glad you're here. In case you're curious what we're doing, just kind of working on this granny square that I made up last night. I didn't finish it, obviously, so we're doing it today. So I just have bay leaves, our dried orange slice to symbolize the sun, and then I'm making cinnamon sticks, and they're going to go in between our bay leaves. I'm excited about this one. So, okay. Sorry, I had to look at my notes and see where I'm at. I can get lost doing this. Welcome back, Nikki. Yeah, YouTube has been kind of weird today. I mean, I was going into my stuff and some things weren't showing up because I wanted to pick the best time to go live for my subscribers. And I wasn't able to see any of that info. I was really kind of upset about it, but oh well. And then things were wonky when I was trying to go live. So Okay. Let's see. Do I want to make this one smaller? I think I will. So in case anyone is wondering how I came up with this pattern, I was inspired by an image on Pinterest. I will not lie. Sometimes that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from. I just see an image. I'm like, I want to make that with yarn. Let's see if I can make that with yarn. And then if it works out, you guys get to see my final projects here on the channel. If it doesn't work out, well, yeah, it gets scrapped. So I did 5 different variations trying to create the right granny square for a different idea I had to do today, and it just did not work out. So I had to pivot with a different image. And this one I say is working quite nicely, and I'm absolutely thrilled. I will be recording a tutorial video for this at some point in the near future. So that if anybody wants to make it, it'll be here. One, two, three, four, five, six, 2 more. Nikki, I'm still making the cinnamon sticks. And then then I'm gonna sew it all together and finish this square up. I have 2 more to do. So sorry, guys. I am like in the brain zone trying to count this and make sure that I'm going in the right loops. And I'm not doing too many stitches or doing too few stitches. Well, that's interesting. Oh, I love it, Sabine. What else were you watching? I'm interested. So I think we, as humans, humanity, thrive when we are able to use our creativity. Uh, oh, Sabine, sorry. You said you're in a live chat with creativity and you're seeing it makes you happy to watch creativity. So I was thinking that this is the second creative video you're watching. So I was curious what the other creative outlet was that you were watching. Good night, Nikki. Thanks for hanging out. So that's what I was asking. But as I was saying, that when we as humans can be creative and expressive with creativity, I think it heals our souls and it helps us to become who we are meant to become. And we're better for it, both emotionally, spiritually, healthfully, too, as in our physical being health. So, truly, I think that we all benefit when we're able to have creative outlets. Oh, okay. What is AOF? I'm sorry. I'm feeling a little not in the know right now. And I don't want to make an assumption. Jamie, are you still with us? I haven't seen you for a minute. Ooh. Hi, thanks. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for sticking around. I am doing well. How are you today? Okay, I'm almost done with these cinnamon sticks. I just have one more after I get this done. Okay, one more. I am from the United States. Okay, last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sabine, I'm kind of interested to see your creation. I have to tally to make sure I keep track. It has taken me about 40 minutes to do what's now working on the 7th cinnamon stick. That is crazy. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and just chilling. That's the purpose of me going live, is just so we can relax and have a creative outlet and just take time to just relax, like I said. So Sabine, I have an Instagram and a Facebook account linked in the description. You could send me a direct message there, or you could email it to me at hello@enchantedyarnworks.com. You could do that. But yeah, I love to see what everyone's creations. So are you crocheting it or knitting? What in the world? Knitting. Okay, yeah. I absolutely love knitting. I want to learn knitting. I haven't been able to be proficient, sad to say. Every now and then I come back and try to teach myself, but then I get flustered. I mean, I get the gist of it. I do. And that's about where I'm at. And then I feel like, I'm 8 years old again, learning how to crochet and just making squares. But that's how we have to learn, I guess, right? Is just to get proficient at the stitches and take our time and get comfortable. So my grandmother taught me how to crochet. I was probably 8 or 9, and she would make her blankets, and I would sit there on the couch next to her, and I would just make rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of crochet stitches. Did I understand how to turn properly? No. Did I count my stitches in each row? No. So, in true beginner fashion, everything grew and went from a rectangle to like a rhombus. And yep, I made little blankets for my dolls, all that kind of stuff. And no, I have not been crocheting since I was 8 years old. It was kind of a hit or miss thing, come back to it here. That I only really came back to it full on in 2023. I kind of had a situation happen the end of 2022, and I just kind of went into doing creative work. And then there was a craft. Actually, it was a, oh, I just forgot that I just forgot the name because I'm trying to think and crochet at the same time. Oh, that's so fun. I love it. Goodness. Okay, my brain is not thinking. Help me, help me. What is the gosh? What is the holiday at the end of April, beginning of May? It's not Beltane. No. My brain is totally blanked. Somebody help me out. Truly. Anyways, so there was a festival slash craft fair thing going on in my little town. And I wanted to have a booth and make all these super cool, um, pagan-esque crafty things. I made some plants. I make a bunch of stuff because I didn't have time. But I really got into it. And then I just kept going from then on. So, yep. I've made a couple of Beltane. Okay, I was right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've made a couple of temperature blankets. I've made, I made some super cute flower headbands for that, actually. I did. And those were a hit. I did make some cute little hanging potted plants. Those were a hit. Yeah, I tried to keep it festive like that. Yep. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry, I think I'm getting excited because this is like the last stitch. It sounds terrible, but it's true. Okay, there we go. Whew. All right. Okay, here we go, guys. Now, move that over there. These are just gonna hang out like so. Okay. Now, I'm almost afraid that as I cut it, I said, oh, wait, I don't think that tail is long enough. Oh, well. All right, I'm going to take this down here. So I kind of do my needling weird sometimes. I like to put my needle where I want it to go, and then I thread it. Because I find that maybe it's because my tails are too short. I don't know. But I find that it comes undone. It's probably because my tails are too short. Actually, that one's going to wait because I think it's too short. Okay. Oh, man. Please don't tell me I made them all super duper short. I'm not really worried about these ends being closed or anything because, cinnamon sticks aren't really closed. I'm just, this side obviously is going on the inside. So. I did. Look, they're all, oh man. Well, like I said, I'm not perfect. And I think that kind of makes me happy to do this channel and not be a perfect, what did I just do? And not be a perfect crocheter because, the rest of us in the world, we don't want that pressure of needing to be perfect, right? Okay, I need to find this. Here I am not paying attention, and I did not even need to pull this down here. It needs to stay on that side. Silly me. Okay, that one is there. Ooh, this one's nice and long. Okay, good. This one is going to get used to stitch multiples. Maybe that guy. Okay, this needs to go this way. So you know what's kind of sad? My craft room that I'm in is in my basement, and I don't have any windows. So pretty sure the sun is going down. And when I get upstairs, it's going to be dark outside. When my craft room is finished, though, I'm going to have a TV in here, and I'm going to have a live stream of the outside. That's kind of my way of making a window. So I'm pretty psyched about that. Okay, so I have 5 fairly longer tails. So yay for that. And these 3 shorter ones. I'm just going to trim them so I don't get confused. And I'm going to use the longer tails to sew these shorter guys in. Okay. Where shall we start? But then look, here I am going to thread this needle first. Hey, no one says it had to make sense. So I'm literally just going to go ahead. I'm putting the seam side down. And I'm just going to go through, trying not to go all the way through the back side because it's a square and it's going to be shown. The granny square. Now, if it was going to be something double-sided, you know, where there was like a pillow or something, then I wouldn't care, or a liner, but it's not. And I'm not too worried about, I guess, it being super duper duper, because that's a specific term. Secure, because I also have to put the orange over it. Okay, first one, let's grab one of these little guys. Oh, that one looks really short. Oh my goodness. You know, and I like to kind of create these patterns so that they can be a little customizable. Use whatever colors you want, kind of thing, and make as many as you want. Whatever your intuition guides you to. Still making sure I'm not going all the way through the back. Yes, I know it looks super messy. It's gonna be fine. I don't know what this is gonna be. Honestly, it just, the goal was granny square. That's really all that I was aiming for. So I'm using acrylic yarn, but you could use cotton yarn and definitely make it like that. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. Doesn't look messy. All right, let's grab another long one. So I'm going to skip a space because I'm going to put this longer one here, I suppose, so that I can go back and put this shorter one here and it not look so funny. Jamie, I was wondering where you went. I absolutely had not seen you in forever. Did I lose her? Okay, it feels messy. How about that? Does that sound better? It feels. I feel like I'm everywhere. It's so, yeah. This would be nice with cotton yarn. It really would. Okay. Who's this little guy? Little guy in the middle. Singing helps all the time, in case you're wondering. Nope. Okay. You should see my scrap pile. It's great. Okay, so my shorter ones, why do some of them seem longer? Oh, that's my goal, Sabine. But like I said, I don't know if you were here for that earlier. This actually is genuinely calming for me as long as the people I'm chatting with are chill and are on the same vibe. Yeah, and that's my goal here, is to come on and just do this so that people can relax and what have you. So, Lashana, is that correct? I'm making sure I can read it correct because sometimes my eyes are weird. Hi, Lashana. I am actually making a Yule inspired decor granny square. That was a mouthful. So I'm towards the end, which is cool. Like, I haven't been on here making every piece of this whole time. Literally, I've only spent like most of the time making these cinnamon sticks. So 1 second, let me get this stitch in here. Okay, so I was inspired by an image on Pinterest, no lie, for Yule decor. And what it was our dried orange slice, and that symbolizes the sun returning, right? And then we have bay leaves around it. I forget what bay leaves symbolize. If anybody knows, please help me out. And then I know that cinnamon is for abundance. So, and then we have cinnamon sticks around it as well. And I just thought it was such a beautiful image of a real item, you know, real dried oranges and real cinnamon sticks and real bay leaves. It was like a wall hanging that I was so inspired. I wanted to make it into a granny square. So that's what I'm doing with you guys today. I thought, you know, let's do something with the solstice, and yeah. those who are here to hang out together, we will hang out together. Thanks, Jamie. Okay. And then honestly, Sabine, I'll be straight with you. I have not done as many videos as I did earlier. You know, I did a bunch in August, and because I did for Granny Square Week, Granny Square Day, excuse me. So there's an International Granny Square Day in August. I think it's the 16th. I'm not sure. I don't remember. If you didn't know, so I did like a whole week of Granny Square videos making Granny Squares, and you know, every now and then I'll do like a theme and just like run with it. But last month just kind of took it out of me with some stuff that went on and all that. And I just haven't gotten my groove back. So this kind of knocks down a few things. I get to be creative with you all. I get to create with you all and have, you know, a video up, and I get to connect. So, and it's calming and relaxing, unlike how sometimes making, recording, and editing videos and uploading on time can be a little stressful. So that's why I kind of like to do this. And no lie, I don't have to like get super dressy because you don't have to see my face. So I literally could be sitting here in my pajamas, but I'm not. Not today. Okay. I'm trying to get this into a knot because it's kind of too short to use the, oh my goodness, to use the needle to tie the knot with. All of my unconventional ways of doing crochet things. I'm telling you, I find ways that work for me, and that's what matters. And you know what? Do that too. Okay, it's hello, HELLO, at enchantedyarnworks.com. Actually, you know, let me write it right here. Actually, Jamie, can you type it in the chat? Could you do that if you haven't left? If she's left. Here you go. My notepad where I take all my crochet notes in. Screenshot. Just kidding. Okay. 2 more. 2 more, and then we have to have a sunshine party because we get to put the orange on. Exciting. So exciting. Okay, let's see here. Which one do I want to put where? Yep, that'll work. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Goodness. We're coming up on 2 hours here, friends. I'm usually exhausted by this time. Oh, you guys must be good energy. Thanks. I appreciate that. So the last live I did, I was working on another set of granny squares for a granny square jacket that my mom asked me to make back in October. I have not finished it, obviously. But I think I was a little defeated because I literally spent an hour and a half working on these 13 squares. And towards the end of the video, it was kind of the catalyst to say bye-bye. And I think my phone was dying. And I had other things to do. I realized I had already made all of those squares. Devastated. So I decided, so I had to start over on a set that I hadn't done yet. And I was so, it just sucked the energy out of me. I was just done. I was wiped. Like, there's no way. I couldn't believe it. And I think part of the reason I was so like just gutted was because I actually went through and checked everything to make sure what I needed to do and what was left to do. Because there's like 6 sets of different color order squares, and darn it. And I had done 4 already. And I had checked them off and checked the boxes, and then I went back and, well, obviously I didn't check that one. So I was kind of gutted. Spent an hour and a half working on squares that I had already done. I mean, oh well. I haven't touched it since. Not because I don't want to, just other things happening. Family in town, all that. So my mother's patient. And she called me after watching. So she watches my channel on occasion. She called me. It was right after I did that video, but I had done one before that, where I'd started the squares. And she watched that video and she called me. She goes, I just watched your video and I saw those squares. And I was like, wait, those look like my colors. Are those my squares? Yes. She was so excited and it just warmed my heart. I loved it. It was great. So, there's positives and negatives to the social media. And I'm going to focus on the positives. And when I can touch lives and warm hearts, that is truly goals for me. And I think it's worth it. Okay. Here we are, guys. Look. Get my hands out of the way. Okay, so now I have to figure out the best way to stitch that down without it going all the way through. Although I do think I want to put a pin on here. I don't think I have anybody. Shoot. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I do have a question. Not being selfish. Would y'all be upset if I made a pattern to purchase for this before I did a video for it? What do you mean, a red holly berry? I must have missed something. Are you saying put red on there? Is that what you're suggesting? I'm trying to think what color I should use to stitch it down. Probably thinking maybe the yellow and kind of work it. I don't know. I just kind of want to glue it. Sounds so bad. Oh, you're saying like a berry right here? Is that what you were saying, Sabine? Yeah, but I do want to do the edge. I do want to put the edge down because I don't want access to all of this, if that makes sense. I want to make sure all this mess and edging is totally secure under the orange. So actually, I was thinking run like a whip stitch of the yellow color right on the inside here where the pith is. That's what I was thinking. A white mistletoe berry. You know, I cannot wait for you to see my earrings. I really cannot wait for you to see my earrings. I'm so excited about them. Look, it's done. It's perfect. Don't touch it. Just kidding. It's totally how I feel about things sometimes. Okay, so am I being too extra to try to make sure that I don't get any of this on the backside? Or is it really not going to make a big difference? Is it really not going to matter? Like, I am such a perfectionist in that regard. I mean, these guys you can see, but they're not really super obvious. But like, my mom would be like, it's fine. No one's going to care. But I care. I care. I want it to look chef's kiss. I want it to look top notch. Like, what's so wrong with that? Or maybe I can just be really diligent and it'll go through. These guys here? I don't know. Okay. I'm overthinking it. Just tell me I'm overthinking it. Okay. Just tell me I'm overthinking it. It's like, and then how much do I need? I never know. I always overestimate. It's better to be too much, right? Than not enough. Okay, I need water. Yeah. Yeah. If I just like try not to go, so I could focus to not go all the way through the leaves and just like catch the tops of everything. I think that'd be okay. I just don't want it to really tack everything down so that it's super tight because I want that 3D effect. That's what I want. Okay. See, I was even extra on the back of this. Like, I started it and I was like, okay, this is technically my prototype. So I just pulled my yarn up. But as I was doing these guys, you see, I did them under the stitches because the other square actually wasn't a 3D like this. So you would have seen this on the back side. So being extra, I didn't want that to show. And in my pattern, it would not have shown. And in my videos, it would not have shown because I would have done it better. Tell you. Y'all are the best. You get me. You get me. So I'm just kind of going back and forth here real quick to get this secured on here. Because if I don't, then it's going to come undone. Thanks. I think I like do a little bit much sometimes, but I have visions of how I would like things to be. And if I'm creating something that I want to look as realistic as possible, I mean, you know. And you know, my mama said, do it right the first time. Just saying. And remember, I was saying that I used to have this problem with with pictures being crooked on the walls. Look, this has to be centered. I need to find some pins because the smart thing to do would pin it down, right? It'd be so smart to do that. Let me go find some pins. We can still check because I have a microphone on. But I don't know where my pins are. Because I've done like some mad dash cleaning in here over the few months where I literally just throw stuff wherever. I know that's really not the right thing to do, but you do what you got to do. Oh my goodness. And I don't remember. Ooh, You know what? I'm going to use this. Sorry for the noise. Super sorry for the noise. I don't know where my sewing pins are, but y'all are going to laugh. Right. Both sides need to look good. I mean, if you want your craft or your piece of art to be taken seriously, take it seriously. You can't, for lack of better words, half-ass it and expect it to be well done. Okay. So guys, I got these. That's probably too big. Whatever. Okay. If you're wondering, why do you have this? Okay. I'm really behind on it because gosh, when was this? Was it the beginning of October? I think it was the beginning. No, it was the beginning of November. It had been all over my socials. The Prada safety pin brooch. Have you guys seen it? It's literally a safety pin this size. The little Prada like dangly charm. And there's literally 4 crochet stitches, like alternating colors, like a pink, a blue, like that. And it went viral of people mocking it because it's like $775, So I haven't done it because it's kind of tricky. I bought all these to go ahead and make a knockoff brooch because it's hilarious. Okay. You know what? I need to use this green because I can't put this right in front of my face. Okay, is it centered? I can't really. I think that looks pretty good. Don't move, my lovely. Thanks. Okay. Not anymore. Just kidding. Oh my gosh, no. I made it worse. Crap. Eek. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. That's my brain. It'll be fine. So then there's also the other side of me that says it'll be fine. Like, see, there's that energy factor. I mean, like how much energy am I going to put to make it perfect? I'm going to put quite a bit to get it started. And then if I'm tired, we're done. It's so sad. It truly is so sad. I could what? Are you referring to my? Oh. Okay. Hold up. Look at you. See, I don't think about stuff like that. Look at you. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. I gotta go get some different color. 1 second. See, I would have never thought of that. I'm so glad I'm on here. Nice rock. Okay, I don't have blue right near me, but I have purple. Right, Jamie? Freak out. It's legit. Okay. All right. Okay, so you mean just kind of like tack it down loosely with this? Is that what you mean? So my mother sews. So I have like some sewing knowledge. But like everything, I know a little bit of everything and not a lot of anything. Right? Right? I mean, that's no. Why did I do that? Okay. So like right here. Hi, Nate. Welcome. Have you been hanging out this whole time and decided to say something now? If so, sweet. I'm excited. All right. See, I'm gonna go all the way from the back since we know we're getting rid of this, right? Yeah. So actually, how do I want my segments to land? Like that. Because that matters too. Like you can't just randomly throw those segments in any orientation. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it. Get your ends in there. Okay. You know what, Nate? Is this your first time here? Have you been on watching any of my videos? Okay, so like Jamie said, please subscribe and like. But I'm all for you learning how to crochet, brother or sister. Are you a Nate or Natalie or does it matter? And I have some beginner videos. Okay, you know what, Sabine? Don't even throw me like that because I said there's 8 on this and there's going to be 8. Okay? Okay. Just kidding. Actually, there's not always because they can be different. Like I've had some that have, the little itty bitty ones that grow inside, but I'm not that kind of perfect. Anywho, Nate, go ahead and subscribe and you will see I have some beginner videos and you can check them out. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with knowing how to chain. Chaining can be an art in itself. Truly, truly, truly. So, but don't get stuck on the chaining, okay? Like, you got to move on at some point. And it's okay if chains aren't perfect. It's okay. It works out. And, we all start somewhere and things are absolutely messy in the beginning. I mean, we all had to learn how to walk somehow, right? We weren't running in the beginning. We were taking our time and learning balance. Okay, here we go. Sabine, I thank you so much for this smart idea. My mom probably would have told me that too. No lie. She'd be like, just do this. It'll be fine. Okay. So correct me, Sabine, if I should do a different stitch. I'm thinking a whip stitch around. Is that acceptable? Do you think that's good? Yeah, so Nate, I have my beginner videos are under the playlist Basic, Beaches, and Bros Beginner Crochet Tutorials. Okay. And, I had to do a play on the B word because I didn't want to be too offensive, which is fine. And then I had to add the bros because, everybody should know how to create. Everybody. I don't think that crocheting or knitting or crafting anything indoors, I'll put it that way, indoors that doesn't, have wood or metal work or, those kind of quote man materials should only be done by females. Okay. I think everyone should know how to make their own pair of socks. Do I know how to make a pair of socks? I could crochet socks, but they're not the same as knitted socks. But, if the fan got hit, I find it's important that we know how to make our own textiles and not have to rely on somebody else to create them for us. Self-sufficiency is important, I think. You can call me old school for that, but that's how I feel anyways. Okay. Sabine, you are my godsend today. Thank you so much for that genius idea. I'm loving this thing. Okay, question. Would y'all pay for this pattern? If you were a crocheter, would you pay for this pattern? Ooh, I was just inspired by asking that question. What about a series of granny squares for the wheel of the year? Wouldn't that be cool? This is obviously Yule. What do you think? I think that'd be great. See, and I like this one because it's not flat. Like I said, it's not flat. And I think the flat ones have their place, 100,000%. But like, they can be boring, and I just need a little more excitement. And these 3D ones they speak to me. And look, I can still manipulate the leaves, which I love. Sorry, I'm looking at the frame of the camera. And yes. Okay, so Jamie knows, because I was talking to her about this last night, that I really was just, because I've just been like worn out, just completely wiped. I don't know about the rest of y'all. If you guys have been feeling it, I don't know. I've just been so wiped. And I just wanted to come on here today, and like, I was worried that if I had something really in depth, we'd be here for 4 hours. I didn't want to be here for 4 hours. I do love my family, and I kind of want to hang out with them a little bit. And I don't know. Would any of y'all have been hanging out for 4 hours? Probably not, and that's okay. Wasn't sure how it would go. So I really was trying to create a pattern that I could do really quick for you guys. And it just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. And like I said, this was my pivot off of a different granny square that I was trying to make, which that granny square I worked on for literally 4 hours. This one was like 2 hours. And I went to bed last night, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take all the parts and pieces that I've made, and I'm going to finish this in a live video. And that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be great. So here we are. I'm really glad I did that. And I feel so much better today after being here hanging out with you guys. How long have we been here? Oh my. 2 hours and 17 minutes. Ooh. All right. Raise your hand if you've been here the whole time. Y'all are troopers, and I love you for it. If you haven't, that's okay. How long have you, if you haven't been here the whole time, tell me, how long have you been here? Right. Jamie, you're absolutely 100% right. Like, I was pushing. I was just pushing myself because I hadn't pushed myself in weeks. And I was like, I have got to just do something. But you know what? I'm actually, I don't know if anybody has done quantum human design study. Like if you guys have looked into that, there's the normal astrology stuff that we all kind of know about, but quantum human design like goes a little bit deeper into it's more specific than the astrological signs and in the astrology. So like I am very much intuitively driven. Really, Sabine? Just the seventh cinnamon? I thought you were here longer. Wow. Um, Anyways, what I was saying, I have the intuitive energy, so I thrive when I work on something intuitively. Like I don't force myself to do things, and it's very true. Absolutely. When I sit here and I try to force myself, you have that whole societal thing of, well, just keep working at it, and it'll get better, and you'll get there, and da da da. Actually, for me to do that really drains me and it makes it worse. So you are 100% right. Okay, Sabine, honey, you are meant to meet me today, and I was meant to meet you today, and I absolutely love it. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, right? Um, yeah. So trying to force myself to do anything when I'm not intuitively active to do it doesn't work. It's counterproductive. Thanks, Jamie. I'm so happy you're here. Truly, truly, truly happy. Um, you've kind of like helped me out, and I really do appreciate it. Hey, I'm almost done. We're gonna celebrate, guys. I don't know how, but we're gonna do it. Hey, look, we have 13 people in it and 13 likes. Y'all are the bomb. I love it. Almost all the way around. Woohoo! Is it? Okay. We've made it all the way around the year. It's funny. I got jokes. Okay. All right. Now I need to come in here and do this as discreetly as possible. All right. There it is, my lovelies. So I tied a knot. I don't know if you saw that. Okay. Let's release. Bum, 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 bum. Who's excited? I'm excited. And I feel good. You know why? Because I finished it. I mean, when we procrastinate things, it just kind of weighs and weighs and weighs and weighs and weighs and weighs. And then now I finished it. So I feel energized. Look at that. Okay, so I would absolutely post my inspiration picture on my channel right now, but unfortunately, I have to wait 3 days because I posted one earlier today. Um, and so I have to wait. But I definitely want y'all to see my inspiration. But that's look at that. I love it. Sabine, I want to learn how to spin my own yarn. I absolutely do. That's like goals. I want to spin my own yarn, dye my own yarn, whatever. I absolutely have goals and would love to learn how to do that. But I'm so proud of this and I'm so glad we did this. I'm glad we did this together, guys. So I'm going to post amazing photos and yeah, I guess I need to write this pattern out. So, okay. I love you guys. And I think I'm going to say good evening, afternoon, good night, good day, good blessed solstice. So, wow, blessed solstice to you all. And thank you for hanging out with me. But yes, I do hear my kids in the other room. And I think I need to give them some time. So thanks for hanging. I had fun. I appreciate the input and lovely to meet all of you who are new here. And thanks for hanging out. Um, keep an eye out for my earrings this week. I'm really excited for them. And if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas as well. So, okay. Thanks again. We'll see you guys soon.